Good morning, everybody. This is November 7th, Monday. My morning brief video. Please like my video if you like it. I really appreciate it. Retweet me on Twitter as well at Gumby9662C. And if you're not following me, be sure and follow me. And, if you guys ever want into the Trade Withdrow trading group, it is free. Just let us know. And I am very selective who we allow in and stuff. So. Okay, guys, so to start what's going on today, so we have this diamond pattern, okay, that we broke out of uh, a couple weeks ago, and then we came back down, and now we're finding support. Now we're coming back up to the diamond highs. This 38.20 area is critical. We stopped last time around 38.18. Now we're back up to the 38.20 area. So definitely keep this one on watch this morning here. It looks like we're probably going to get a little bit more upside action to open the week here. So doesn't look like we're going to immediately come back down and find selling pressure. So that's what my pretty much quick and dirty takeaway here. Okay, some other things that I'm looking at right here, guys. So first of all, we're still into this volatility box area down here. We really gotta hold prices above the 38.17 area. Okay, on this trend right here, we are at the moment pushing above this lower consolidation as we speak. You know, the trend lower consolidation as we speak. Don't know how much further we can go, but I do want to float that. So far, that's what we're looking at, and we're so close to this prior high, I just cannot see us not doing it. Okay. Another thing is all-time high trend. I'm going to change my time frame. Look, remember this line right here. Okay. So basically, what I got going on here, it's not all-time high. I'm sorry, I labeled it wrong. This is the trend from August. Okay, this is your August trend. That's not all-time high. That's August trend. It's labeled wrong. Okay, sorry. So we're breaking above the August downtrend here. We're potentially breaking out of that. We're the bodies of the August downtrend. We haven't completely got out of the wicks, but we are breaking out of that August downtrend, and we're between. This is fib spirals. Okay, and we're between these two spirals currently trading. Okay, but this looks like, this thing has been kind of oscillating. This thing likes to oscillate, between spirals. So be mindful here. If we were to sketch legs early this week, we're looking at possible targets up here in the 39. Well, very easily early this week here. We could be up here around 4,000 based on the spirals. Okay, so we definitely want to keep that in mind here that we could be up here at the 39.22 area in a heartbeat. So definitely keep that with us coming out, potentially coming out of this downtrend again. We've already done it once and it failed, and here we are starting the week, and we might be doing that again. Okay, some takeaways that I do have here. I have a little wedging formation going. A wedge, and this is the wick areas. Okay, this line right here is the wick. This here's well, no, this is the body. This is the body area. This is the wick area. This is the body. This is the wick area. So what we managed to do on this wedge, we came down in the OPEC session, come down, tagged the body area right out of the gate yesterday morning on ES futures. Okay, and we have rallied all the way to the top of the body of the channel already in the pre-market session here. So we have completely traversed the wedging pattern that I've got going on here, that I had going on coming into this week's session. So be mindful of that as well. 38.20 does look very much possibly in the cards here. If you look at my long-term trends, if I can find it here, Gary's channel, long-term trends. You see this line right here, the 38.20 area. If I go out here on a daily, I think, yeah, this corresponds with the pre-COVID high right here. This trend line corresponds with the pre-COVID high, okay, before the big sell down, before pre-COVID. So we're right into that pre-COVID high, 38.20 here. And be quite mindful of that. So that's why I think we're in all likelihood going to be coming up into at least this 3820 here early on today in today's session, uh, retesting those pre-COVID highs uh, for today's session. Uh, so definitely keep that in the back of your mind, what we're setting up to do here in today's session. Okay. Some things happening here. We got crude down a little bit this morning. Okay. A little bit of selling pressure in crude. Okay. Things seem to be a little bit more risk on this morning for what I'm seeing. And you think about it here, we have the election coming. That's a major sticking point for the bears, you know. So they've been putting, they've got all this insurance out there, uh, in VX futures, because they've bought all these puts. And uh, as you start checking off things on the bear list, that the reasons to be bearish, that in itself can give a little bit of relief rally to the markets. And here we are tomorrow, possibly checking off a big one, the midterm elections. So be mindful of that, of a potential, alleviating some of the downside pressure, in this market. So we have to be mindful of that. And then also, we've noticed that we haven't had the VX futures, the VIX, the VIX futures. They have really been, if you go here on the daily, they've been really coming in here lately. The VIX futures have really been coming in, the VX futures, and the main reason being, uh, everybody was hedged, and they were already hedged. So they didn't feel the need to add large amounts of additional insurance, and so all of a sudden, VX futures started uh, giving us a warning sign, giving us an indication that hey, everybody's already hedged, So now, if everybody's already hedged, we can still drift lower in the market, but everybody's already hedged. So you have to get a new fear event to drive prices lower. And so far, we're not getting that. We have news out this morning. You have possible U.S. officials talking with Russians this morning. We have, one of the another big sticking point is just they were wanting a slowdown in the economy, so the Fed would start uh, slowing down the rate of interest rate, increases. What are we hearing this morning? CVS and Walgreens, a lot more store closings. We've got Facebook, Meta coming out. They're gonna lay off thousands of people. We got semiconductor industry gonna lay off people. Uh, you know, uh, so we're hearing bad news that should be bad news, but it's actually good news in relation to what the Fed's doing, because that's what the Federal Reserve is looking for. So be mindful of that. The markets could rally because everybody's already hedged big time, and they might need a relief rally here to get some of this hedging off there, because everybody's already well hedged, so they can actually start getting bids back into the volatility again. So I'm actually looking at this VIX to come down to this area here, down into 23s. So be mindful of that as well. I'm actually looking way down here, much lower here on the VX futures. So. Okay, that's all I've really got to say here. 1 second here. Another thing I'm looking at here, guys, the distance from the 20 EMA here. So that right there is your 20 EMA. So we're coming into today's session, and the distance we get away from that 20 EMA and the 50 EMA, and we were at an extreme distance to come into this week here on tech and some of these other industries like ESs as well. But ESs aren't too bad, doesn't look like, but mainly in tech. So, that can be a driving force. Here we are. Hell, we're potentially crossing the 50 SMA right here to start the week. So be mindful of that as well. So, just a few things to be thinking about here, uh, as we start this week. Like I said, we're into that major uh, resistance area here, the 3820 area, the 50 EMA. you know, uh, really looks like we're going to probably be getting that The 50 EMA is actually right here at 38.11, I think. So you're pretty good odds we're going to definitely get that today on the S's. So there you go. So that gives you pretty well what I'm thinking this morning, and we will go from there. Uh, so just that definitely that's what I'm looking at. So that's all I got to say. Leave some comments if you got anything else to comment about if I'm missing anything. If I can get this thing to stop now.